Hi guys, this is Kevin Fernandez. I go by the name DJ Chaos, and you're listening to the podcast Taking It Slow. And if you like what you're listening to, please subscribe to them on all their social platforms. Cheers, guys.
Hey guys, it's me again today. As I mentioned in the last podcast, Vishu is dealing with some COVID related issues with the family and he'll join us back as soon as it is possible. For today's episode, I have a really special guest with me and I've been fascinated by his profession for quite a while. And so this is going to be the first of its kind episode because this is the first time I'm shooting or recording the podcast in person and the person is sitting right next to me, so you might see a different setup than usual. Hope you like it. Hope we can bring more such personal interactions in the coming few episodes as well. The profession is interesting, the person is interesting, and I hope you find the podcast interesting as well. So without any further ado, let's dive right in, people. It's another Sunday. You know what that means. It's time to take it slow. In the podcast, we've been trying to reach out to people from different walks of life, different professions. We've had Air Force pilots, we've had Supreme Court lawyers, we've had wedding photographers, we've had a whole bunch. A very interesting profession that I always try and understand more is the profession of DJing. See, our experience of what a DJ does is हम लोग क्लब में जाते हैं पार्टी करने के लिए, हम उसको अपने सॉन्ग रिक्वेस्ट करते हैं, अगर पसंद नहीं आता हम चिल्लाना शुरू करते हैं डीजे सक्स. ठीक है, दैट्स हाउ इट गोज, दैट इज एन अनरिटन रूल. उसके अलावा शादियों में डीजेस बजाते हैं, बट दैट्स ऑलमोस्ट एज मच एज आई नो अबाउट द प्रोफेशन. So I thought, why not learn more about what goes on behind the scenes of becoming a DJ, of performing in front of a live crowd, of preparing for an event. So who better to bring on as my guest today? None other than someone who I've known very, very closely for a while now. A very close friend of mine, goes by the name of DJ Chaos. Real name is Kevin Fernandez. Welcome to the Taking It Slow podcast, Kevin. Let me just tell you quickly about Kevin. He's been in the profession for quite a long time. He's even opened for people like Ritwez and Divine, and that's just name dropping a few. He's been DJing for almost 5 years now, and we'd love to know more about the profession, his life, his inspirations, and a lot more. So, Kevin, जैसा मैं अभी बोल रहा था, हम लोगों के एक्सपीरियंस में DJing is शादी में गाने बजाना. हम लोग जब क्लबिंग जाते हैं उसमें बजाना. अब जैसे थोड़ा कॉर्पोरेट साइड में आ गया हूँ तो वहाँ पे भी थोड़ा बहुत साउंड मिक्सिंग वगैरह काम डीजेस करते हैं. हाउ मच ऑफ दैट इज ट्रू? एंड जितना मुझे पता है मूवीज ने, बॉलीवुड ने काफ़ी ग्लैमराइज किया हुआ है इस प्रोफेशन को. बहुत कूल लोग हेडफोन्स लगाकर क्राउड के साथ ऐसे इंटरेक्ट कर रहे हैं, बहुत मस्त लग रहा है. बट हाउ मच ऑफ इट इज रियली ट्रू? व्हाट परसेंटेज ऑफ योर लाइफ और व्हाट परसेंटेज ऑफ योर जॉब is playing for crowds in clubs and pubs?
So, I agree with the fact that you said like DJing has been glamorized a lot.
Yeah.
But it's not very glamorous. I'm being brutally honest with you here. You know, there are times when like people come up to me, they think so. This is a character that I have to put on, like this really cool guy who knows a lot of things, who knows a lot of people. That is something that I have to put on. You know, I mean, it is forced in a way. Yeah, a lot of people get it naturally, but yeah. So about the glamorous part, you know, there are times when I've been DJing in clubs and like at events or like live events, like on the stage or whatever. So like what I do is I just like interacting with the crowd during my set and post set as well, like to get feedback. So there are times when I've just randomly walked into the crowd and like, dude, how do you like the set? Like, dude, mad set. And you know the DJ, you know who's DJ? No, dude, I don't know. That was me, man. You were DJ? Oh, yeah. Like, they also like have to like literally, like, they don't want to make you feel bad.
Yeah.
So people are, okay, like, they'll be like, oh, yeah, I remember, yeah, good set, man, mad set. But, you know, like, people in clubs, they don't really know who's DJing. they listen to the music, they dance to the music, they go home.
Hmm.
Everyone has like a different motive when they go to a club. People want to go have a good time. They don't care who's DJing. They don't care what is happening. So it's not very glamorous if you ask me. Like it is glamorized, and once you reach there, then it gets glamorous.
Reached there, matlab where?
There, like as in if you want to make it big time, like you know a lot of famous DJ personalities. Like there is DJ Snake. There is Dimitri Vegas, like Mike. All these guys, the big guys.
They sell out arenas.
Yeah. So
मतलब so तब उनके नाम पे टिकट्स बिकते हैं.
correct. Yeah.
That is being big time.
Yeah. So like now if you ask me honestly, you know, if I want a gig, so I get like I don't get approached by venues because I've not really made it big time for now. Like I mean, I am a DJ. I'm good with my thing. I'm good with my art or my skill or whatever you call it. But I mean, so if you want to DJ in clubs, you need that you need that reach. So first they'll ask you about your Instagram or social media, whatever. How many followers do you have?
How many people can you
How
bring?
many people can you reach to? That is secondary.
अच्छा.
So clubs have started making deals where they pay you on the basis of how many people you get.
Fuck. Okay.
So your art is not valued at all.
Okay.
You play the crappiest set of your life. They don't care. They only care about how much sales they make and how much money you can bring in. Or they got their resident DJs. They don't need you. You need them.
Yep.
I need work. So I need to go to places. I need to tell clubs that okay, I can get these many people. You get me a gig. And the music is not really judged there, honestly. So an event is judged by how much sales it makes.
We were also talking about the various kinds of events that DJs do. So we as laymen have interacted with DJs in clubs and weddings more often than not. Is there anything else that you people have to do, or are there other avenues of work which you people do? Are there different types of DJs, for example?
So if you ask me honestly, I've done a lot of house parties. That is how I started DJing. That is where I realized, but that time I didn't have a console. So I used to play music on my phone. People are like, dude, you play my music.
अच्छा बजाता है.
हाँ, अच्छा बजाता है. You should take money for this. I was like, हाँ, क्यों नहीं?
दे दो, तुम ही दे दो.
But that is how I started. So on New Year's Eve, I never do a paid gig. I always do a house party where I want to be with people I'm comfortable with.
Fair.
And I want to have a good time. It is New Year's Eve.
Fair.
I want to
Yeah, fair.
enjoy. I want to be in my zone. I don't want to have that stress of working or whatever. So I make it very clear to the people that dude, this is me having a good time here. You want to dance, you dance. You want to go, you go home. I'm not going to play what you want. I'm not going to play Punjabi. I'm not going to play Bollywood on your demand. I'm going to play what I want to play. I make it very clear at the start of the night.
So we've been talking about the audience. Do you engage with the audience a lot? You get immediate feedback. So if you want to call it a pro, you can call it a pro, or if you want to call it a con, you can call it a con. One of the specialities of this profession is you get absolutely instant feedback from the crowd. If they like your music, they'll keep chanting for you to go on and on and on. अगर 10 PM कट ऑफ लिमिट है, बोलेंगे एक घंटा और बजाओ, 2 गाने और बजाओ. You get the vibe that your set is working well. If not, you get immediate hostile feedback as well. मतलब DJ sucks वगैरह को हमने भी बहुत चिल्लाया. So
I think this interaction might change you, and I hope you do.
Okay. So is it very mentally draining, or are you always on the edge when you're playing? Okay, I have to keep the crowd engaged anyhow, otherwise I might not get a gig again at this place if they don't like my music.
That is always a concern, because the thing about DJing in Mumbai, and I don't want to hurt any sentiments or anything, but people want to dance to the same songs that they've been dancing to all their lives.
Yeah.
You play a new song, they look at you.
इसके मुझे steps नहीं आते हैं.
Correct. Exactly. They want to dance to the songs which they know the steps to. And everyone will know the steps because of you've seen the reels on Instagram or whatever.
Yeah.
Like the trend is they're following the trend. Everyone wants to be trendy.
Yeah.
If you play a new song, it'll be the best song. Like I mean, international artists have been playing that song, but you play that song, they have not heard it. You'll be like, "Ye kya hai?" So there was this one club that I had gone to, and the vibe was very it was like a psychedelic vibe, So like a dark, trippy kind of vibe. So I didn't really know what happens there because I went there for the first time. I was approached by the venue. I went there for the first time. I won't take names. Okay?
Of course.
So
job चाहिए, gigs चाहिए.
So So I was DJing, and I was playing all kinds of psychedelic music. You know, I tried to pump the crowd up. Like I wanted to get them to another level. You know, like raise the BPM, like raise the tempo of the crowd. So what happened is that the owner of the club comes to me. He's like, "तेरी अखियों का काजल भैया, तेरी आँखों का यो काजल."
Fuck, हरियाणवी song जो है.
Yeah.
Nice.
And yeah, it's nice. Yeah, it's nice. I mean, ठीक है, another
It is a trippy song. Bro.
in another vibe, in another setting, I would do it. But I was in my zone, man. You're coming and killing my vibe there. I was like,
और तो बहुत पोलाइटली बोला है तेरी आँखियों का काजल. वो गाना तेरी आँखा का जो काजल.
I know. Yeah. so that is how it works. You know, you don't get to do what you want. You're supposed to do what the crowd wants. So basically, in like very simple words, your YouTube. You know, like how YouTube you click. Like
I don't like this. Play the next video.
Correct. And you know, there are events that I've done where people do this to me. And
Seen that. Yeah.
I'm like, dude, mixing is not something that मेरा मन हुआ मैं एक फेडर ऊपर एक फेडर नीचे करके मैं ऐसा I can't do that. Okay, y'all are drunk. ठीक है, y'all don't know what is happening. I can do that. Y'all will be like, oh wow. But I value my art.
Yeah.
I want to mix the beats. I want to mix the music. I will transition it at the right time. And for me, like if I see another DJ doing that, I'll judge him here, of course. So I feel like I'm being judged by y'all on the basis of all these things. But I forget that people don't care. They don't really care about the beat matching or the finesse, like the technical aspects. They just want, like, I mean, when they want, इशारों पे, like technology has made everything so fast that like ठीक है, voice command, bro ये बजा, अभी बजेगा, ये बजा, अभी, like that is it.
You are passionate about mixing music. You're passionate about music in general. But do you think your job that allows you to do this needs you to forget your art for a while and then cater to the audience on that particular hour? And so if yes, if the answer to that is yes, how are you still comfortable doing this? Is it mitigating your passion a little? Is there a fine balance that you find कि हाँ ये मैं अपनी खुशी के लिए कर रहा हूँ, ये मैं crowd की खुशी के लिए कर रहा हूँ, ये मैं पैसे के लिए कर रहा हूँ?
That is what money compensates. So I mean, yeah, there is a very fine line over there. There are times when I walked off the stage. When I don't feel like it now. When I don't feel like doing what the crowd wants, I walked off.
And then what happens?
I don't know. If I'm not comfortable doing something, I won't do it. Because for me, DJing has always been like a hobby. Like, I mean, it has not been my like, it is something that I love doing. I would like, if you give me a chance to play, I could play music all day for you. But like, I mean, you have to consider certain things. That is it worth your while? Like, are you making enough money?
Yeah. You were talking about experiences with the crowd. You walked off the stage. Let's talk about it.
I thought it'll come in later.
Fuck it. That's the beauty of doing a podcast that you own. So I can talk about what I want to talk about whenever I want to talk about. So let's talk about it now. So you have walked off the stage. You've been asked weird requests. Has it escalated really के कुछ scene वगैरह खराब हुआ है pub वगैरह में? Because people are shit drunk there, and more often than not, people seem to have an authority over you. And so I've seen that myself. People getting into tangles with the DJs, people getting into tangles with the bouncers there, with the authority there, and they have some sort of an entitlement कि हाँ मैंने cover charge दिया है तो now I own this shit. How has your experience been with? Because तेरे time पे तो half of the time you deal with drunk people.
All the time.
All the time you deal with drunk people, and drunk people have no sanity. Drunk people have no boundaries. So tell me a few instances where you like कि मैं क्यों कर रहा हूँ अपने साथ, ये मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ अपने साथ.
So I'll tell you this once when I really questioned why I am doing this. Why, like, I mean, I had a quarter life crisis there. I was DJing, okay, and my set, it varies. Like, I play music by, like, I read the crowd constantly. Like, I see the crowd is vibing, okay, I'll play this track, that track, like whatever. Like, the track has to match the tempo of the crowd. So it will not be necessarily Bollywood. Like, I'll keep putting in a few English songs in between, just for fun, you know, just to see, like, not for fun, but like that you get that judgment over time that, you know, this song after this will create like an impact. Like there are some iconic songs which no matter when you play, the crowd will, they'll sing, they will vibe with it. So there was this once, okay, I started off with a very mellow commercial set, went up to house, and I went up to Bollywood, okay. I'm playing Bollywood. That when you reach that point where you start playing Bollywood, you have to understand that people have finished their drinks and they're going to dance. So they're finished, they're drunk. Okay. I'm playing Bollywood. This dude walks up to me at the console. He's like, Bollywood बजा. Like, ये क्या बज क्या रहा है? Like, I mean, ठीक है, I thought I'll mess with him a little. ठीक है, whoever he is here, like क्या बज रहा है? I was like, read this, क्या बज रहा है? And I was also fried here. I mean, I'm doing my job. Like when you're doing your job, somebody comes and does ungli ye kar. When you're doing that, you're literally doing that, and he comes and tells you, "ये अरे क्या भाई मजाक चल रहा है क्या?" So he comes to me and he's like, "Bollywood बजा." I was like, "हाँ बजा रहा हूँ, Bollywood ही बज रहा है." So then he's like, he's standing there, okay, and I don't know what he got offended by my tone or whatever.
Nice.
So he started grabbing my elbow. ठीक है, he's like, सुनना इधर आ. I'm like, dude, go here, don't harass me, let me do my thing. And people are dancing, you know, everyone is dancing. This one dude is like, he's after my life. He wants to like exploit me. Okay, so I was like, हाँ बजा तो. Then I was like, he's drunk, I don't want to deal with him. हाँ बजा तो. Then
And isn't the club security or the bouncers etc. supposed to prevent this from happening?
yeah, so this was like in the start. Like I mean, it hadn't escalated then.
Achha.
I'm getting to that.
Huh.
So then later he wouldn't go. So I called the bouncer. I told him, dude, he's not letting me play. So the bouncer took him and went to the table.
Huh.
Then okay, little while everything quiet now. People are dancing. Everyone is having a good time. Suddenly I hear a commotion at the back. This guy is telling the management that I will not pay till he comes and apologizes to me.
For what?
For what? Exactly for what? Dude,
Nice.
I was like, then the authority is like, they know me, they know my rapport with everyone. I'm very chilled out with everyone, and I talk with respect. And I don't it's unwantingly. I will never diss you or anything. I will always talk to you nicely if you talk nicely to me. So that is how I am. So then the manager of the club comes to me. He's like, dude, you do one thing, you pack up, you leave. Okay. It's no point waiting here till before this escalates. So I went home, and the bouncers and all took care of it, and the resident was continuing. So I reached home, and it was at around 2 in the night. I came home. I was tired, man, and I had to drive quite a lot. Like I had to ride quite a lot. I reached home, and I was just sitting. You know, my mother is always worried about me because I come in late, and like I was riding, so that is risky, you know, in the night. So there are drunk people in the club. There are drunk people on the streets. So you never know what can happen. So I reached home. My mother comes. She's like, and like I was sitting by myself for quite a while. Like she didn't come in immediately. She came in after a while. So she asked me, "Are you okay?" I told her that this is what happened, and I don't know what I'm doing with my life right now because this is something I love doing, and I know that I can make people happy with this. My only motive is to make people happy.
Okay.
I want, like, I don't play songs that I don't want to play, or I don't play songs you want me to play. Like if people come to me with requests, I don't tell them that nahi mujhe nahi bajana because I don't want to play. I want you to have a bad time. That is not my motive. There are factors like BPM. There's something called BPM. It's called beats per minute.
Yeah.
So your track has to match with that. Like you're supposed to mix. You know, like you can play anything anytime. But no, that is not art. That is your
phone पे playlist पे कुछ भी चलाते रहो चलेगा.
Yeah, so that is not art according to me. And I want to create my image as an artist. I don't want that is something anybody can do. And I have been training, so I wouldn't do something like that. So my mother is like, she told me that you have to consider everything now. This is all part of life. There is struggle no matter what you do. You will get people who are after your life. You will get people who will love you, who will be like, praise you. I have my set of fans who keep coming for my gigs. Yeah. But there are people who, like, I mean, they are also having a hard day. They'll come and take out all their stress on you. So you have to figure out whether what you want in life, whether you want this or you want that. She told me that if you love something, do it. If it makes you happy, do it. If it doesn't make you happy, don't do it.
I can so feel most of us who are listening to this right now relating with you a lot, because number of us have been there who have been shouting change kar, next track. We haven't really stepped behind the console ever to realize what you are going through probably. And I'll make a mental note कि मैं ऐसा आज के बाद कभी नहीं करने वाला हूँ.
No, I mean, see, I wouldn't mind suggestions, you know. But like you come and you tell me this is something I want you to play. But there's a way of saying, you know. If you tell me nicely, I'll do it. I'll do whatever you want. You tell me
Dude,
bitch.
जब तू 4 shots पी चुका है ना तो way politeness everything is out of the window.
I get
उसके
it,
बाद.
but then what has to be considered is that even I'm doing my job there. When you're
And
working,
you are not drunk, so you
Alright,
have to deal
I'm
with
sober.
it. Deal with it when you are sober. Acha, you were talking about your mom and how she always encourages you to do what you want to do what makes you feel happy. What's been your journey like? And you are a sound engineer, as you said. When did you start DJing? When did you start DJing professionally in clubs? What's been your path like? And when you told your family that, hey, I want to pursue this as a career option, because it is not a conventional career option, what was their reaction to it?
So from the time I was like in school, like you had these annual events, you had these schools couldn't afford DJs. I was the DJ.
Nice.
2 phones and audio mixer tha.
Huh.
Wait, upar niche. What I was telling you, no art.
Huh.
Just read the crowd and play music.
Huh.
Whatever. Like just do crap over there.
Huh.
And kids used to be like, oh my DJ in the house. Like with time, I started doing events. I started doing live events. I realized that I have a calling for this. Like at least when in the music criteria, I personally have a very good selection of tracks. So like I mean, if I play music, people will dance for sure because I know what to play after what. Before learning to DJ professionally, like to like
Mixed tracks.
yeah. Before I learned that, this is something that I already knew. Like okay,
You have a
play this
knack for
track.
good music.
Yeah. I got getting younger, like during college. I used to go to a lot of house parties. There, I would play music for a lot of it. Then people would tell me that, dude, why don't you do this as a profession? I thought of it. And then later, once I finished my graduation, I did a course on DJing. I learned professionally. Yeah, so then I started DJing. I did my course and then I started yeah.
So your family was supportive?
My family was very supportive. Very supportive. They didn't have a problem with anything that I did.
How cool, yeah.
I know. My father is in the same profession as me.
Achha.
He's been into so I am a sound engineer. He's more into the video aspect of it.
Okay.
So that is why I received that is where I got most of my support from.
Nice.
And I used to always, as a kid, see what he did, go with him for events, and I've seen him struggle. We've seen real tough days. So when I sit back and listen to his stories now, he's made it from scratch. Literally with nothing. Today, wherever I am is because of it. And my mother has also been supportive. And they've seen me, I used to do events at the church. I used to go to my church. I used to play music there. They used to see me happy there. They were like, okay, good at it, makes you happy, do it, go for it. Money is secondary because we have our full-time thing going on.
Huh.
So they were always very supportive about it.
So in India, has DJing become a viable career option now? So as I said, if I am under 12, I want to pursue this. Is it a viable career option? Can I make a living out of it? There must be thousands of DJs who would be pursuing for those limited slots in the limited clubs where people want to play at, the aspirational clubs or the aspirational events. Is this a viable option now?
So I'll tell you honestly, you cannot look at DJing as a full-time career.
Okay.
You can look at it treat it like a hobby. And if a hobby makes you money, it makes it more fun. It's a hobby, you love doing it, you're passionate about it, that is why you're doing it. If you treat it as a full-time career, you won't be engaged all the time DJing. You'll have a lot of spare time. So my suggestion to people who are really interested in DJing would be do something stable, something that gives you money continuously. Money is important. You need money these days. Then pursue DJing, and I know a lot of artists who are doing that, who are pursuing a different career. Have you heard of Spin Doctor?
Yeah.
He's a doctor. He's actually a doctor.
He's actually a doctor.
Nice.
Nice.
So he's a doctor who did DJing, who started DJing as a hobby. So for me, conveniently, my passion and my profession, they kind of
aligned.
Yeah. So I was lucky, but a lot of people are not. If you are passionate about it, so people who are thinking of doing it as a career or as a hobby or whatever, just learning DJing, I would say that you have to figure out how much you want to do it. You know
How passionate are you
how
about it?
passionate you are about it, because that is the whole, like that is
Sweet
what will
spot.
take you. If you are like chill about it, if you treat it as a hobby, okay, मेरे को जब gig आएगा मैं करूँगा, मेरे को phone आएगा, मेरे को नहीं आता है, because there are thousands of DJ, like you said,
Yeah.
कचरा market है, and like if when you approaches you saying that okay we'll pay you 5k, 10k, 15k, whatever, you take it, you don't say no, because there are 10 people who are ready to play
Do
for
it for
free
2K,
there.
yeah.
Not 2k, free
Exposure.
I've done so many free events in the start, lots of free events. I've done events where people told me that okay we'll pay you, and they don't answer my calls.
Okay.
So like I mean, if you can face all this and not have a financial crisis, you can take it as a full-time career. But if you have a financial crisis, if you are struggling with money or whatever, I would suggest that you rather
Don't
get a
make it your
stable-
sole profession.
Get a stable source of income and then do it like on the side. But then the pandemic taught me that nothing is stable. I do online gigs, like I do gigs for corporate events. But
तो अभी सब Zoom पे shift हो गए.
but you know,
Must be weird, no?
it's not satisfying.
You don't get that instant feedback.
It's not about feedback. I mean, you know what the crowd is doing. You can see them. But you know, having the crowd in front of you is something else.
You vibe off of that.
Yeah, and you can feed off the energy. You know, like you know when what happens, and like I mean, you can control them. Like if you play a down tempo song, you can mess with their brains. You know, I do that. I troll the crowd a lot. Like you'll see my sets, they're never your average sets. Like ठीक है, एक के बाद एक banger. I'll play some bullshit track in the middle just to mess with the crowd.
तो low के बाद ही फिर high आएगा.
So it's fun. I mean, it's worth it because you don't have to deal with the hassle of crowd coming to you and telling you
Drunk people grabbing your ego.
You don't have to deal with that. But at the same time, it's not very satisfying also.
So जो तू बोल रहा था, if you are really passionate about it, you can reach the upper echelons. हम लोगों so India में, if I speak about DJs, there are very few DJs who you recognize as a layman. I mean, I consider myself pretty in tune with music, with Indian music, and even I know very few. I know DJ Suketu, DJ Chetas, कुछ टाइम पहले DJ, now I know DJ Chaos. So half of the people would only remember DJ Akil as the first DJ who made it big into the Indian market. These people I know these people because they've worked on Bollywood songs, have remixed Bollywood songs, and have albums out of their own. I don't know DJs by interacting with them in clubs, in pubs. So, is that a place where you aspire to be as well? Or is that a place that you have to aspire to be if you are playing in the Indian circuit? Remixing and labels signing you on to make music, produce music. Is that an aspirational place to be in India?
It is, because they both go hand in hand, you know. Like you can't just be a DJ and expect to make it big. You need to, like, that is how the market works these days. If you produce, your reach increases in a way. Like, I mean, there are a lot of DJs who are not producers. There are a lot of producers who are not DJs. So DJs and producers collab and they work together like as a team. So for me, production was never my forte. You know, like I don't have the patience of sitting in one place and like, and I don't play an instrument, which is like you need to know an instrument so that it helps you. You know, you understand music. You tend to like know things that like you get that edge, you know, over the other average DJs. So I don't really know an instrument, but I got good ears. That is what I've been gifted with. So that is how I've been working on a few tracks that I've been producing myself. So my take on this would be that you need to produce as well as being a DJ, like spinning, because DJing will take you to clubs, but what about those days when you're not spinning? You're sitting at home. If you have tracks released on certain labels or like on YouTube or whatever, they're reaching people even when you're not doing anything. So your reach constantly grows. So like production and DJing, they both go hand in hand.
A good example for that would be not a DJ per se, but a good sound producer and a decent artist is Yashraj Mukherjee as well. तो वो ही इज गुड विद साउंड मिक्सिंग एंड ही इज गुड विद साउंड प्रोडक्शन एंड ही इज अ रीजनेबली गुड सिंगर एंड ही नोज अ कपल ऑफ इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स एंड ही इज मेड इट बिग सो उसका रीच इज growing exponentially now. So yeah, you're right. And how would you say the profession itself has evolved over the last decade or so? So you've been in this almost for like 4 to 5 years, and there has been a lot of rapid evolution over the last year and a half, if I would add. Because of the lockdown, people have had to adapt to different means. Otherwise, playing to an online crowd wouldn't have been imaginable, say, 2 years back. How would you say the profession has evolved, and is there an acceptance for more sound engineers, more sound producers, more DJs in the mainstream Bollywood or in the mainstream pop culture? Would you say?
If you ask me the evolution, so like if you notice that Tomorrowland is one of the biggest festivals in the world.
Yeah.
They had an online event.
Wow.
And people have bought tickets.
Okay.
So people who want good music, who love good music, who want to attend gigs, they're ready to spend. They're ready
Stand-up
to-
comedy with the way
they're ready to be there. So I mean, there are the Indian market is a little, like where price matters, over quality, price matters. So they don't mind giving like 2K to a DJ. वो गणपति वाला वैसा no dressing that. But if you're a very sound
artist,
a very like an artist with a lot of skill, they won't pay 10K. They'll be like, no, too overpriced. We don't want to pay for you. We can hire. मेरे हल्दी में this has happened to me. This has happened to me. People are comparing me to haldi wala DJ. You know why? Not because I have a bad taste in music or because I have less skill than him. Because that dude was playing whatever this dude wanted. He was saying, "Hey bhai, ye baja hai. Hey bhai, wo baja, ye baja hai." That is what that is how people compare in the Indian market.
Fair.
Not on your skill, but on how I don't know what they compare. And price is one factor, and like you're just supposed to do what they want. So you're like a puppet, Like if you don't do what the people want, DJ sucks.
So see, look, putting myself into my own shoes. People want to have a good time is the primary aim.
Correct.
Now, your taste might not your taste might not be completely in tune with what my taste is.
Correct.
And I might not know songs that you're playing. They might be the latest tracks out there, but I might not have heard them. I might not be vibing to that sound at that point in time. So, for example, हल्दी वाला जो तू बोल रहा है, मेरा एम वहाँ पे था कि play all the hits. I should have a good time, and that is not probably a place where I want to appreciate your art.
Correct.
I want me to be happy at that point in time, and I'm not really sure if the Indian audience is ready to appreciate DJing art at all at this point in time. Indian audience just wants to have a good time. That is it. When you go to club, so हमारे यहाँ पे सब events वाला scene रहता है ना कि going to club is an event, going to a party is an event, and if you are going to an event, you would rather relive your nostalgia. You would rather have fun with the stuff that you know, that you're comfortable with, rather than learning something new or appreciating new art. So I'll not say that you are wrong or the person who was comparing to his haldi wala was wrong. Both of you are in different mind spaces from what I
But
see.
I'll add one more factor to that now. You have to understand that like you, there are 100 people out there. I am one. Y'all are 100. I cannot play what 100 people want.
Fair.
So I'll play what I think. All of you see you like I don't know like if you've seen those diagrams on Instagram.
Venn diagram.
Venn diagram, exactly. So I'll try to find that one common factor which is common.
Sabka sweet spot hai.
Correct. Bollywood is like so. I've done corporate events where I have people from the south, people from the north.
उनको बॉलीवुड नहीं पसंद आता.
नहीं पसंद आते. People from the north. उनको पंजाबी चाहिए.
उनको राउडी बेबी चाहिए.
और इनको and okay, all this has happened. Then like there's one guy standing here. Okay, there's one guy standing here. ये बोलता है भाई साउथ इंडियन बजा. ये बोलता है भाई ये बजा. और बीच में मुंबई वाले भाई बॉलीवुड. वाह. और एक तो पीछे ए जिंगाट. तो and ठीक है, give me time. I'm not some machine, dude. I need time. I need to mix. Okay, you want South Indian, let me play South Indian. You sit quietly there till I finish this track. When I finish this, I'll play your track. Okay, next order. Acha, aayo. This happens, okay, and I'm stuck here, like controlling all these people. I'm not controlling music, I'm controlling people. Crowd control चल रहा है.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
और उसके बीच में किसी ने बोल दिया, भाई क्या बजा रहा है यार ये, क्या कुछ नहीं आता इसको, बंद. ये ले aux cable, फोन में लगा, बजा, मैं जा रहा हूँ. I've done that. I went to an event in Goa. I got fried there, dude. I got literally fried. I did that. I just gave 2 aux cables. Punjabi, ये ले, Punjabi बजा. South Indian, ये ले, South Indian बजा. And I walked off. I was standing out, ठीक है. And I waited. 10 minutes, 10 minutes. ये लोग नाचा, ये लोग they played those trending songs. Then again conflict between them because इसको ये सुनना, उसको वो सुनना है, ठीक है. They start fighting among themselves. Then the guy who was like some main guy, he comes out, he's like, आ जाओ प्लीज आ जाओ यार, अभी कोई कुछ नहीं करेगा, 10 मिनट बजाओ बस, हम लोग सब नाचेंगे. Like please ठीक है. I played for 10 minutes and who came to save me? The cops came to save me.
Nice.
Shut the place down.
Nice. Yes, देख इंडिया में क्या है ना, इंडिया में आर्ट का अप्रिसिएशन अभी नहीं है. सो फ्रॉम व्हाट देयर इज अ वेरी नीश सेगमेंट दैट डज अप्रिशिएट आर्ट, बट इंडिया में थोड़ा सेलिब्रिटी कल्चर ज्यादा है.
Correct.
तो हम लोग तो ये पॉडकास्ट करते हैं, तो पॉडकास्ट के थ्रू ही हम बात करें कि लोग हमारे कंटेंट के लिए पॉडकास्ट नहीं सुनेंगे. लोग जो गेस्ट आ रहे हैं, कोई बड़ा गेस्ट आ रहा है, उसके लिए पॉडकास्ट सुनेंगे. 50 पॉडकास्ट हैं, बट अगर कोई सेलिब्रिटी होस्ट कर रहा है एक पॉडकास्ट जिसका क्वालिटी हमारे से 50 टाइम्स इंफीरियर है, तब भी लोग उसको सुनेंगे क्योंकि वो सेलिब्रिटी का पॉडकास्ट है. उसी तरह से जहाँ तक स्टैंड अप कॉमेडी की बात है, लोग कंटेंट के लिए नहीं जाते, लोग नाम के लिए जाते हैं कि हाँ मैंने जाकिर खान का शो अटेंड किया. देयर माइट बी अ केविन फर्नांडिस जो बहुत अमेजिंग कॉमेडी करता है, बहुत फनी है, बट लोग उसके बारे में ग्लोट नहीं करेंगे, उसके लिए टिकट्स नहीं खरीदेंगे जाकर क्योंकि कूल नहीं है. उसी तरह से डीजेइंग भी है. अगर डीजे सुकेतु के कॉन्सर्ट में तो जाएगा, अविची के में जाएगा, तो सिर्फ नाम के लिए तो टिकट खरीदेगा, चाहे उसका म्यूजिक तेरे को कचरा लगे, कुछ समझ नहीं आए. बट अगर तू केविन फर्नांडिस बहुत ही अच्छा म्यूजिक बजा रहा है लेकिन वो उस चीज के लिए टिकट नहीं खरीदेगा जाके क्योंकि वो नेम वैल्यू नहीं है. तो इंडिया में आर्ट से ज्यादा ना सेलिब्रिटी या नेम टैगिंग का ज्यादा कल्चर है.
I completely agree with this. But then you have to understand that I followed this, I started this because I wanted to be an artist. And people, I've been training people. I have I have a couple of students under me. I also tell them the same thing, dude. I can teach you to be an operator, but I want you to be an artist. I give them homework where they have to listen to at least 10 tracks a day, new tracks. Why? Because you don't have to listen to mainstream stuff. You have to listen to tracks from every, sphere or whatever, like every possible
genre.
Genre or like tracks that nobody has heard about. You have to listen to all those kind of tracks because you understand music, you connect with it emotionally. Now there is one thing that I figured out. Like I've also been to a club, I've also been in a part of the audience.
Yeah.
But there are 100 people there. Okay, this is one of me, so I'm one. Then 99 others. Tell me that one track which everyone is vibing to, everyone is dancing. But I have some sort of bad memory connected to it.
तो तुझे पसंद नहीं आएगा.
मेरे को बीटी हो जाएगा वो ट्रैक बजेगा. Being a DJ, you have to figure out that इसमें से एक को तो होना ही है बीटी ये ट्रैक से. That is the statistics. I mean, ठीक है.
वही वेन डायग्राम वाला सीन है ना, ज्यादातर लोगों का स्वीट स्पॉट जहाँ पे हिट करता है वो उधर को बनाए.
So that is what now the art in it is very undervalued because people think that क्या ही करना है, एक पेडर ऊपर करना है, वो प्ले दबा दिया प्ले होता है, ये दबा दिया वो, and they think that everything is like मेरे पास सब कुछ है, I have everything at my fingertips, टक 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 हो गया, बजा दिया DJ. So there was this once where I was doing a corporate gig, okay, and this guy comes to me and he's like, play this Jharkhand regional song. I was like, I don't have this. He's like, how do you not have it? I stared at him like for a couple of seconds. Like I was still, I was trying to
processing it.
Processing like, I'm like, what does he think my console does? Like I just flipped.
वो cloud से connected है, पूरी दुनिया के सारे गाने उस console में.
I don't know what people have in their brains, that what a DJ does.
So ना तो DJ नहीं है तो YouTube है bro.
Correct. No, and then his counter question to how do you not have it was, it is on YouTube. How do you not have it?
Nice.
Dude, and I was like, नहीं होगा यार मुझसे. So yeah, like I mean, people think that it's easy, you just say things and you get it, but a lot of effort goes into like creating a set and like.
So let's talk about what goes on into creating a set. So जैसे इस झारखंड वाले भाई ने पूछा, उसको अजम्पशन है कि हाँ आजकल मेरे फ़ोन पे अगर कुछ है तो तेरे कंसोल पे भी होना चाहिए.
हाँ.
यूट्यूब है, स्पॉटिफाई है, सब कुछ तेरे कंसोल पे होना चाहिए. बट दैट्स नॉट हाउ इट वर्क्स. How long does it take to prepare for a set, and what all goes behind the scenes that I don't know, you people like me don't know. सेट बनता कैसे है और कितना टाइम जाता है एक से 2 hours का सेट बनाने के लिए?
So if you ask me, I'll tell you, you can take an entire lifetime to make a set. No, I'll tell you why.
That is deep, man.
I'll tell you why. Because you are listening to, like for me being a DJ, I want to consume new content every day. So even while I'm showering, my music is on. I'm listening to new tracks, not to the tracks like people are listening to in their houses. Every day I listen to a new set of tracks because I want my set to be up to date, or even if not up to date, like maybe find that song that people vibe to even if they don't know it. Very few songs you'll get that people vibe to even if they've not heard it, because maybe the music is catchy, or maybe it like your body tends to move in a certain like there's that movement that you get. So for me, every day my set keeps getting updated. If you tell me before an event, like if I have an event tomorrow, I'll sit all night today. I won't sleep. First, I get stressed out over events. I'll sit all night. I will never use a previously used set. I'll create it from scratch. So first of all, if I know I have a gig in a place, I'll go there, read the vibe first.
Okay.
I do a lot of research because I don't leave things for last minute. I don't like that stress, and it is that excitement that keeps me up. Like कल मजा आएगा, कल ये होगा, कल I'll do this with the crowd, ये play करूँगा, वो play करूँगा. It is very exciting, but you have this one thing in your brain that okay ये होने वाला है. उधर एक कुछ और होता है, that is disheartening, but it's part and parcel. Like I mean you can't. I won't say that all your gigs are disheartening. There are gigs where I have had the time of my life. There is this one gig that I did where people are paying to get in at 4 in the morning. Like I was playing hardstyle.
Okay.
So have you ever heard?
No, I have no clue what that is.
Hardstyle is very fast. It's very fast. It's too fast. A lot of people don't like it. Your head starts hurting after you listen to it. I was playing hardstyle. I was playing trap. I was playing all those fast genres. People are paying at 4 in the morning and getting in, and they're dancing. Everyone is dancing. Those who are there don't want to leave, and more people want to come. So it was quite a good experience. 5 o'clock. When you ask me to shut, I'm still playing. People are like, no, don't stop. I'm like, dude, I have to stop. I have to go home. But then, like, I used to stop in the morning for breakfast. But it was fun, It was like a good gig.
Nice. So, ऐसा तूने भी एक गिग के बारे में बताया. So, is there something that stands out in your mind कि हाँ ये गिग मेरा आज तक का बेस्ट गिग है, इस दिन मैंने मचा दिया था एकदम?
So, like how when you introduced me, you said I opened for
Ritviz and Divine. Yeah.
So that was the lineup. Me, Ritviz, Divine. Okay, I got a half an hour slot. And the crowd had come for Ritviz and Divine.
Obviously.
And nobody knows me.
Yeah.
क्या उसका छोटा DJ, छोटा artist. And I had the time of my life. I had at least 5,000 people.
And in the palm of your hands.
Yeah, and I was playing all banger tracks. Now I'm on stage. Once you're on stage, you're above them. Okay, I'm not saying they're not that like superiority or whatever, but you don't have people coming up to you to do this. I had 20 minutes, and I was like, this 20 minutes are going to change my life, because that was like the biggest gig I've ever done.
Yeah.
20 minutes is not a like big thing, but opening for Ritviz is a big thing. So I played banger tracks there. Like, I played all my like those the choicest of collections, and the crowd was vibing. Like you could literally see all the hands up. Like you could see like I mean, it was beautiful.
I can still see it on your face, man.
I cannot put it in words, and like they were responding. And the thing is that I love interaction. Like if I like you notice now. Yeah. I didn't do that, but I didn't play that track. But I love interaction. So there was a lot of times where I like let the crowd sing. So even the crowd likes that. They want to be a part of this.
Yeah.
So I make it a point, like even my smaller gigs, like the ones that I do in clubs, I make it a point to keep some sort of interaction, because they like being part of your set. And if you let the crowd sing, they'll sing. They love it. So a lot of times I troll the crowd. I do that. I play with them. I mess with them, and they also enjoy. Like they feel more connected with the artist. So that was one of my
Nice.
best gigs of my life, you know.
Acha, how updated do you need to be with the social trends that are going on at that time? I mean, abhi, if I talk about myself as a consumer, I consume music from everywhere. I consume music on YouTube, Spotify, even on Instagram. जो reels देखते हो तुम, उसके background music, तुम्हारी stories में हर जगह music है. How updated or how constantly do you have to update yourself with the latest music that is out in the market, and people will expect you to play that sort of music which they can recognize from reels, from stories, from celebrities ke reels, etc. So how updated do you have to keep yourself?
So honestly, if you ask me, like people don't really care.
Acha.
Like they just want to dance to the tracks they've heard
Huh.
because they know the steps, like we discussed earlier.
Huh.
So if you're updated, that gives you an edge. Like I mean, it will make you better. It will make you stand out in a way.
Huh.
Like it will make you like they'll be like हाँ वहाँ
एक pop आएगा.
हाँ वहाँ नए गाने बजते हैं.
हाँ हाँ
यहाँ इतने नहीं वो सेम साड़ा सेट बजाता है.
हाँ.
But ठीक है. So it gives you an edge because no matter what you play, you have to play what people know.
Right.
If you play something else, you'll be like, I've had that like because I want my one of my aims while DJing is to give people something new, like something you've never heard. You know, you go to a club, you listen to this track, and you'll be like, "Ye kaun hai? Shazam." So like, but I realized that this is not for Indian audience. They want to hear the same song. I mean, no disrespect, but but this is the hard truth. I'm telling you what is the truth here.
नहीं, I don't refute that at all. मतलब हम लोग जब कई बार पार्टी करने अभी भी प्री पेंडेमिक जब जाते थे, तो देर आर अ फ्यू प्लेसेस विच आई नो कि यहाँ पे हमारे ओल्ड स्कूल हिंदी म्यूजिक बजेगा, तो मुझे इधर जाना है. सोडा बॉटल ओपनर वाला इधर जहाँ पे पुराने रेट्रो गाने बजते हैं रात को 1-1:30 बजे के बाद, तो वहाँ पे जाने का मन करता है, तो वहाँ पे जाके नाचेंगे. तो अब मैं खुद उस सेट में आता हूँ. आई कंसिडर माई सेल्फ एन अपडेटेड गाय विद म्यूजिक, बट डांस करने का मन है तो उस वाइब में जाएंगे अपन. तो अपना ऑडियंस है भाई वैसा. यू कांट चेंज दैट फैक्ट. But ठीक है, it is what it is, and thank you for coming on the show and taking me behind the console and stepping into your shoes, man. One thing that I promised that I take away from this कि मैं आज के बाद कभी भी डीजे को ऐसे नहीं करूँगा और हाथ पकड़ के next ये वैसे नहीं करूँगा. That is for
And
sure.
also you cannot shout DJ sucks.
ठीक है, another promise that I take. I'll never ever shout DJ sucks in my life again. And thank you for doing this, man. It was very cool of you. It was lovely speaking to you, man. And hope you had a good time.
I had a good time, and you know this is something I've always wanted to do because people take DJing as a very like क्या मस्ती मजाक समझ रखे हैं. इतना stress होता है. Like I told you that day, you know, when I came home.
Yeah.
Nobody knows this, but I cried that day. I wanted to like नहीं कर रहा मुझे बस हो गया ये परेशान करते मुझे लोग. But then I was like नहीं, I'll do it. I love it. This is something that I love doing. I will do it. I'll do what my heart says.
Nice.
And then I did it.
Nice. Where can people find you if they want to follow your work or they want to check you out?
So I'll like if you could put my.
I'll put the link in the description. But if you want to give it a shout
my
out,
stage name is Chaos Kevin. So I mean you can't type it out because it has the underscore. Whatever.
We'll put the details in the description of the link.
That'll be great.
And thanks for doing this, Kevin.
Yeah. So if you are one of the few people who used to shout DJ sucks and if you all have gone to a DJ and hassled him, then you gotta follow me on Instagram.
अभी इसके Instagram पे 5x आना चाहिए.
I gotta make up for all that what you all have done.
Nice. So that's about it for this episode. For further episodes, do subscribe to the channels on YouTube and Spotify and keep taking it slow.